Well, good evening, everyone. It is raining memberships in this place tonight. We're not even live yet. I love that. I saw that Avery became a member and then she gifted 5 memberships. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Avery. And then I saw someone else too. Parker Marie gifted a membership. And if I missed any, let me know. I saw we had some memberships going on. I was like, I like that. I like it. I like it. I like it. It's been actually a little while since I've gifted. It's probably only been a few days. You know me, I think it's been longer than it has. But how is everybody doing today? Let's see who got a membership. Oh, look at that. Oh, thank you so much, Avery. You're the best. Thank you. You are so sweet. Oh, I like your picture too. That's so sweet. So kind. There's it. So, we will start tonight's live, I guess, huh? I'm like, if anybody is sleepy tonight, your girl is with ya. I've been in the sun today, so when I turn on my camera, you guys are probably gonna laugh. My face, it seems like it's darker than the rest of me. I'm like, not sure how that is, but okay. But I did sit in the sun today. Let me just turn my camera. I sat in the sun for like 30 minutes today, and I could tell a huge difference. But I use this stuff, if you ever want to get dark, I use this, like, self tanner. It's not self tanner. It's like, tanning lotion. And it's called Maui Babe. It's like $20 on Amazon, and it'll get you dark within like 30 minutes. Don't put it on for any longer. Not a pool day though. No, summer, not a pool day. Wish it was. I didn't open that damn pool yet. Y'all, so 4 days ago, 3 or 4 days ago, they put on our Facebook for our complex that we say at our our community here, and they said it was like a boomerang, and it was up on the balcony, and it was like, watch out for the pool, it's gonna be ready today, like watch out. That was 3 days ago. I was like, does it smell good? Actually, I don't know. Let me grab it. Actually, hold on. Actually, as I was like going to grab it, I was like, I don't think it does smell good, actually. Let me think. Let me see. Yeah, no, it stinks. It stinks. But the beauty of this is you only have to wear it for 30 minutes, literally just 30. Like your first time, 15. If you get burnt. And then this is what it looks like. And then after you get like 30 minutes, just get in the pool and get it all off of you. And you don't want to leave it on your hands after you're done because it'll stain. Like if you can notice, I was rubbing my neck earlier because I was like, is this staining my neck? But I only put a little bit on my arms, just my arms and my legs today. But they better be getting over here and opening this pool up because your girl needs to be at the pool. I'm a pool person. Oh, carrot oil is the fastest, and darkest oil I've ever used in my life. Carrot oil, I've never heard of that. I know that mine doesn't, this doesn't smell good. I think it's like $20 though on Amazon, and I think it's from like Hawaii or something. Yeah, it's from Hawaii, but it works so good. A girl I met at the pool like 6 years ago, she had some, and she was like, here, you can have this, because like she was really light complected, and she was like, I hate it, because when you put it on, it looks like a self tanner. It gets you like bronzy looking, so, but it looks so good. You look so good on it, and it's, so I'm trying to not go to the tanning bed. It's been 4 or 5 years since I've been to the tanning bed. So I'm trying just to, get all the wrinkles and the dark spots in the regular sun. Justin still hasn't got your pool ready. Oh, summer, I'd be on him. I was supposed to just a carrot oil. I was thinking the same thing, just Avery. Does that smell good? Yeah, you wouldn't like the smell of this. I mean, I don't think. It doesn't smell like, I wonder what it smells like. Maybe coconutty? It might not smell bad. I mean, it smells like regular, like, tanning oil, I think. Not the greatest, but still good. Yeah, my mom did baby oil. I never did baby oil. But because my mom was always like, don't ever do that. That'll really hurt you. But this is just like it, probably. But worse. I think that's, I don't know. I've never had anything like it. So I figured I'd give you a little tidbit on what I use. And if Maui Babe's out there and they want to sponsor me, I'm here for it because this shit's expensive. We only need to buy like one bottle a year. So it's like $20 a year. It's not bad. And I love going to the pool because I do like coloring down there and all kinds of stuff. I do like coloring books. No way, Jose. I didn't close the door on my way. My dog just walked in. Hold on. I may have to bring her in here. That was too cute. I wish I could have showed you guys that. That was really cute. She just poked her little head in. Straight up butter. There's like I have like one hair. It's like crazy, but wow. Butter. I know. I wish I could have put this camera's on like a thing you can move it. I don't know. I haven't touched this camera since it's been on here. Vincent bought me a brand new camera and we put it up and I haven't touched it. I'm like, oh, I want to and I want to take pictures, but I'm afraid I'm gonna break it, so I'm waiting to get a shoulder strap. So did I miss anything? Straight up butter, that still gets me. Hello, hello, antisocial butterfly. Man, I love that name. You're either red or pale. Aw. See, you don't think the Maui Babe smells bad at all? Okay, see, Mandy, she doesn't say it smells bad. I don't think it smells bad, but I don't know if it's like, it's not like the most beautiful, it's not like floral or anything. But I mean, it does the job. It does the job. I used to go tanning. I used to be that girl. Do I have a picture? Oh, I mean, it's bad. I'll have to show you guys a picture of my tanning days. But I used to be, okay, so to give you an example, my sister-in-law is half Indian, half black, and I was like 2 shades darker than her. So that means I was like 3 or 4 shades darker than my nieces and my nephews. In pictures, I was the darkest one. And I'm like, what? In my 30s now, this was in my 20s. I'm like, why didn't someone tell me to? No. But they didn't because, you know, and I thought it looked good. I used to get a double shot of spray tan and then go tanning on top of it. I was insane. Paula Deen tanning. That's so funny. I'm trying to read the chat, but oh, I want to go boating. I'm gonna have to bring her in. I have like all kinds of pictures of my dogs, and then whenever I go to find one, I can't. Oh, I'm gonna do a TikTok though on her. All of her faces when I work out. Like, because I'll be like on the ground, you know, with my head like facing up, and she just like looks down on me, and they're so funny. So I'm gonna do like a whole like TikTok on her because she's just the cutest. She's a Weimaraner. They are known for being up your ass 24/7. So when she's not right here, it's, you know, it's weird, very weird. You love to play in the puddles, Isabel? I did too. My mom's like, I dressed you in a dress and put you in curlers, and you still just went out and got dirty. You didn't care. I said, well, probably not. I didn't care. With the tingle, all, yeah, my mom used to use tingle. Hey, Crime Curious, how are you? I was thinking of you during the sentencing and the verdict. Couldn't think of it. If you didn't see my reaction, it was one of for you know a million. It was probably not near as delightful as yours, because I can only imagine. But I did have my red flags for each count. So for 4 counts, I had all my 4 flags. And I hope she's living in hell right now. I saw your post. I saw that she was moved too. So I hope that I hope you're doing good. And I hope that you don't feel like you hit a brick wall and you're just like staring at like the wall, literally like, what do I do next? Because I felt like that was some cases, and I could only imagine working 3 years on one case. So I got the red flags just for Letitia. We got 12 of them, but there were 16 lies in the opening statement. So I was like, darn, I wish I had 4 more. And now we're just going to use them for all the red flags that we see. There's legendary. Oh, I did, and then I meant to read it. And I saw like some of it. Did you say your wife's name's Boo? Boo, because I like that. She said, "Oh no, I have a whole damn book to finish writing." Oh God, she's never going to be out of your life. I'm just excited that just that Al and Landon can move forward, man. Because I just like hit the keyboard. They haven't been able to. None of the family has. And I saw Teresa, I think it was. She sent me a picture of Harley. I think you had it on your community post too. Of her and Gannon. I thought that was like so sweet. Let me see if I can find the paper I was going to show you. Well, where is it? There it is. Let me share this with you. Hey, glow bug. Oh, your little glow bug's different. Oh, no, it's not. I love it. It makes me laugh. It makes me like really happy. Because I completely forgot I had one of those. Hey, Arlene. I meant to say hi to you earlier. I saw you in here, and then I came in and forgot. If you guys don't mind, I forgot to ask you. If you guys don't mind hitting the thumbs up, it does help. I tend to forget to do that in the beginning, right when I come on. Just, leave your DNA on that, on the like button. I would appreciate that very, very much. It's totally free to do, and it's kind, and it helps the channel grow. So you'll be helping build a channel. Think of it that way. No, but I really do appreciate you guys hanging out, and we're going to get to tonight's live. Oh, that's okay, Crime Curious. I always try to remember as soon as I go into other people's lives, but I tend to forget to sometimes. And then I tend to forget to remind my people to even do it. But, yep, so just, like the like button. Like the like button. On tomorrow's live, I want to go over the newest developments in the Oklahoma massacre. So I want to cover that and go more in depth, because a lot of things have come out that since the last time we've even talked about it, which is the day before yesterday. Oh, thank you, Antisocial Butterfly. You're so sweet. All summer, I need to watch the replay from last night. Can we talk about last night real quick? If you didn't watch the video from last night, probably one of the best ones I've done on the platform. I needed that. I needed to get that out. Like, because when I see bullshit, just repeatedly over and over again, I have to say something like, and Vince is normally there to be the person that's like my, he's like, the person that's just there to be my person, to be like, to talk me off of the ledge in a way. But he fell asleep last night. Like, I thought he was on the live, but he was sleeping. It was just on. So I don't think he even saw it, but he would have been proud. He would have been so proud. But no, it was fun. It was a fun live. I loved it. I loved that, I got all those misconceptions out there. And I was actually, I'm not done yet with it. So tomorrow night's going to be like a, Oklahoma Massacre night. Saturday evening, I have a big live planned. I just got a lot of stuff to look up. So make sure that it's going to be over Idaho 4, and it's going to be over Kim, I'm sure, because I'm still sleuthing around. I'm going back months. I'm in the deepness with her. I have so many notes. It's insane. Like I keep looking up here because I've got notes everywhere. I need to keep them in a good spot. But I do have it going. I started it like this, like going by creator, like whose channel she was on. So thank God I did it like that to where I'm not like, oh, where'd she say this? Oh, where'd she say that? You know what I mean? I have it by it. So I have it going by channel. So that way I can not lose my mind. Because it's just like, it's not really, it's weird. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm like blind or if it's from like me being in a car accident, like hitting my head or something. But I'm telling you what, when I see something that's like just crazy like that, I can't keep my mouth closed. That's what actually got me on this platform. Was, you know, I'm pretty sure one of my first videos was over like Rodney's mother. Like, if that tells you anything, go back and watch those. I still get comments on them, like good comments. I need a notebook. Oh yeah, I know. I got one right here. Let me check my notebook. I love it. I know. I got my notebook. I'm ready. Well, like the one person, Justice, was like, well, where did you see that or something like that? And I'm like, I'm looking on my notes. What are you talking about? I'm like, we were missing each other there. We were missing each other. Oh, I have to look into Emma. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the whole situation. Encyclopedia. I mean, I know that, I will say this. Hey, GP. I know that, I heard a couple creators come out today and say that, like, the girl in the body cam footage is Emma because they got the body cam footage from her traffic stop for her DUI, and then the night of one of the nights at the Idaho house, there's a girl that like resembles her or something in those pictures, and someone's like, yeah, she's wearing a bandana, and both in bandanas are not popular. Well, coming from somebody that, even though I don't look like it, I do own a boutique, and they are actually very in trend right now. Bandanas are, and especially like silk ones, especially like replicas that look like Gucci or a big designer brand. They are super trendy right now. So I don't know. She does look like Bryan though. I will. Whoever said that someone, and a creator did say that too though. I respect Pickles. I remember seeing that, and I was like, she does kind of look like Bryan's sister. I know my vape's here too. I got it ready for tonight. Where's my vape? I know. I have to. I'm gonna have to. Oh, see, I didn't delete it. So really, that's weird because there's been. Hey, Summer, look at this comment. She said, Chrissy said, I'm newer to your channel and I just watched your Kim video. The only problem was the person who kept defending Kim's comments were deleted from the chat. I kept up with your debunking though. So see, this is like, okay, because we've noticed, and like, because Summer's a mod, and like she'll always go back through and watch replays because she misses things because she's modding. She's taking care of Eddie, you know, making sure Eddie's good in the chat. And so we've noticed that like their chats have just been disappearing. Oh, I did block her though. That's what it was. So I blocked her. So I'd have them block. Maybe I should unblock her. Do you think I should? I think I should. Maybe I should. How do we do it? Do you think she'll come back? Oh, someone sent me did someone, hold on. Was that an email or was that in the comments? Did somebody say that Kim changed her name on, yeah, someone did. On YouTube? It's not the 3434JJJ anymore. And then we'll get started. I was going to see if I could find it. I'll have to find it, but maybe when unblock her. Yeah, I want to see her comments. Okay, let's see. How do I do this? I go to settings, and then Community? Yeah. Okay. Unblocked. Okay. Yeah, because I didn't even notice that. I guess I blocked Bonbon. I don't know. Maybe she took time to think about her actions. Probably not. She was hardcore. Well, is it a girl or a guy? I don't even know what it was, but I was arguing with them either way. I was like, we don't care. We don't care who you are in this chat. It was just the comments. The comments were, oh man, I wish that you could have saw the comments we were working with. It was just like, she was like, or she or he, friends with, or talking about Kohberger, but spelling the name completely wrong. Coleberger. And then said he was friends with Christy Gonzalez, but spelled Christy with a C instead of a K. And it was just like, I was just like, oh my lordy. And then they had a baby on their profile picture and they're acting like that. Yeah. I remember Mandy Joe said, who puts the baby on their picture? Oh man, that sucks. I'm sorry, I unblocked them. So the comments should come back up. Do they come back up if I unblock them? Kohberger, yeah. Unless they were talking on their phone, maybe. But I was just like, you're not even spelling people's names right at this point. And then I kept dropping the link. Drop the link. I was like, and I won't be mean. I know I could be intimidating maybe. Oh, you missed a good one, TLC Bell. I might have to replay it like on the big screen. It was literally me, like, I still have the papers over here with like 6 pages of debunking lies and just lies. Papa Rogers was in the group. He was here. But every time we tell him to come up, he doesn't want to. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and start with the this document that just came out. Let me see. Where was I at? Okay, I had some notes here, but Okay, like I was saying, I have a big live planned for tomorrow night. So tomorrow night's Friday for Oklahoma, the whole Oklahoma massacre. And then Saturday, we're going to be talking about Idaho 4 again. I have, hopefully, I could probably take a week and still be going through lives. So I think it's probably going to be a part 2 or 3 of the series. But by the time it's done, I'm going to have a whole wall full of it's going to look like a damn detective show in here. It's going to make, it's going to make it very nice. It's going to make it you guys are going to want to be here for it. So, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell icon, make sure that you, if you're on your cell phone, that you have your cell phone settings to allow alerts for YouTube. That way you'll get alerted to my videos that I do. Also, I do lives every day. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you subscribe. Also, because it's always hard to find a creator once you if you exit out the video and you're like, oh, who was that? You know what I mean? It might be hard to find us. Also, so tonight, on tonight's live, we're going to cover the newest Nancy Grace video that came out over the Idaho 4 case and over Bryan Kohberger. She goes over the traffic stop, the body cam footage that came out a few days ago. So it's just her point of view. She talks about the evidence that they collected at his residence at Washington State and about how clean his apartment was, and that he was a PhD student, so he would know how to clean up evidence. Also, if you guys haven't seen my community post, let me actually see if I can pull this up really quick. I didn't know that, okay, let's see. Can Okay, this right here, this is luminol that you can buy on Amazon. It's right here. I'm just showing you a different picture of it. But it's a luminol. You could buy it for $20.29 on Amazon. I didn't know that. You can also buy a black light. Maybe I'm just like, I don't know. And I went to school for criminal justice, not my bachelor's in that. But I got my degree, years ago. Oh my gosh, it's been a while, guys. Oh my lord. It's been like 12 or 11 or 12 years since I got my degree. So this wasn't readily available when I was doing my stuff. Yeah, you can make your own CSI kit now. You just need gloves, some goggles, like the safety glasses, some luminol, ooh, and a toolbox to put it in. You can buy this luminol. And it blew my mind. It really did. Because I'm like, I'm OCD to a fault, right? And I didn't realize this, but OCD and ADHD, they are kind of like a lot in the same. And I don't know. His drain had one hair in it. Like, in his bathroom, in his tub. Like, what? How do you only have one hair in your whole entire drain? Like, he has hair too. It's that curly, like, little hair. It comes out. Like, it's not like he's a poodle or, a dog, hyperallergenic dog. Do you think that he was cleaning? Like, because the shower curtain is gone? I don't know. Now that I was like listening to Nancy and then I saw that you could buy this, because I just looked it up online. I was like, what if you can get that on Amazon? It's probably on his Amazon shopping list. Maybe I'll put it on, maybe I'll make me an Amazon shopping list with like a CSI kit. Like gloves, masks, luminol kit. You can bedazzle the toolbox. And still look credible. Of course, Avery. Yeah, of course. Any other way, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't be legit if you didn't. It's just, he was moving out. So you think that's why he was cleaning? But I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying if he took evidence home with him, if he transported evidence or he thought, maybe through his hair or wherever, and he took a shower and he cleaned his whole house and he wanted to, I mean, this is an option. I'm just saying this is an option for you out there, for people to spray. Plus, actually, he would probably have this. He might actually have this on hand, because I had, they give you, when I went to school for criminal justice, I got like a little toolkit. It was like, and it had, now it did have spray in it, but I don't remember if it was luminol. Because what would we use it on? You know what I mean? I can't remember that part, but I know that had it had the powders for fingerprinting and all of that, and DNA collection and that stuff of that nature. Someone said it was ketchup on his pillow. Summer said, yeah, he probably had it luminol at the school. Yeah. Legendary, I have no friends though either. And I clean and I can't get my house that clean. I want him to come clean my drains. Come clean my shower. I mean, because I can clean my drains all the time. But then I get in the shower again and there's going to be 50 more hairs in there most likely. Because I mean, I got long hair, And if I clean it out, you know what I mean? I don't clean it out every single time I get out of the shower. So I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe that's the thing he does. But the caboodles are back. Caboodle, can you believe it? Man, I wish I would have kept all my old caboodles. I love saying the word. If you eat fries anywhere else, then you're not doing it right, Mandy Joe. You have to eat them in bed. Now I really want some French fries. Damn. Vincent's out of town. I'm like, damn. So let me go back to what this is. So this is the news paperwork. There's been a new document posted on the state of Idaho's website. So if you guys want to look at the judicial state cases, you can. This is the document though. Here, let me blow it up for you guys so you can see it. Let me see. So I wanted to go ahead and read this and go over it first before we watch the Nancy Grace video. And this is going to fire some of y'all up. I'm going to read it and then I'm going to give you a brief summary of what the document means. So if you don't catch on, I mean, you know. And let me know if you guys have seen this, because it came out and I saw it right before the live. I mean, I think it came out probably earlier today, but I'm not sure. It's the state of Idaho versus Bryan Kohberger. Objection to motion to reconsider order dated May 4th, 2023. So basically, you know, that the news outlets and all of that, they've all gotten together and put in motions so that the non-dissemination order would be lifted, and then that way the gag order could be lifted and people would be able to talk about the case. So that's what this is kind of this is what this is in relation to. So it says, comes now Bryan C. Kohberger, Bryan through his attorney, J. Weston Logston, Chief Deputy Litigation, and hereby objects to the motion to reconsider order dated May 4th, 2023, on the grounds that the media's motion to vacate the amended non-dissemination order raises factual issues that Mr. Kohberger requires additional time to prepare. The media argues in its motion that it is irreparably harmed each day this court's amended non-dissemination order remains in place. In essence, the media argues that this court should grant a temporary injunction against its own injunction. So I'm going to stop there for a minute. Actually, I'm going to read it all, and then I'll go back to that. It claims that this was the intent of the Supreme Court because it moved quickly to determine that its petition for a writ was filed in the wrong forum and using the wrong vehicle. What the media fails to note is that the Supreme Court provided no such directive in its written decision. It also fails to note that the petition for a writ was a purely legal issue, whereas it has repeatedly argued the basis for entry or amendment of the non-dissemination order is in question of law and fact. See memorandum in support of motion to vacate the amended non-dissemination order. It says here, the media seems to be acting on the premise that the order should simply vanish now that it has arrived on the scene. Instead, this court has reasonably and correctly recognized that the proper path forward is a hearing where the parties may show the evidence there is of prejudice and the potential for prejudice to Mr. Kohberger's 6th and 14th Amendment rights to a fair trial from the removal of the non-dissemination order in this case. Because the media coverage of this case has been intense, and because Mr. Kohberger plans on providing expert testimony on its damning effects, Mr. Kohberger will require additional time and will not be prepared for such a hearing on May 22nd, 2023. So, before I go to the bottom part, let me go to this part, top part, because I was like really confused. If we have any lawyers in the chat tonight, let me know, because it says court should grant a temporary injunction against its own injunction. And so I was like, what the hell is an injunction? Like, you know, I was just really curious, like in a court. It's a temporary restraining order. It's an order from the court prohibiting a party from performing or ordering a specific act, either temporarily or permanently. So to me, this document makes no sense. It says, like, if you use it in the term of, like the wording, hold on. If you use it as like, you know, the wording of like, restraining order or like, you know, like that, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Court should grant a temporary restraining order against its own restraining order. Does that make sense to anyone else? That part really doesn't make sense to me. Exactly. He had time, Isabel. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's why I said I was going to fire some of y'all up. Because fire me up. Okay, so basically Bryan Kohberger is saying that he plans to bring in experts to testify on the damaging effects of media and the coverage it has on this case. He then states he is going to need more time to get his expert witnesses and prep them all before the hearing on May 22nd that we've all been looking forward to, you know, last couple weeks or week or something that since it's come out. I'm sure the judge will probably order a continuance, but maybe not. Is it this? Is he seeing Marshall? Do we know? I have it right here. Yeah. Okay, so maybe she won't. Maybe she won't give him a. Maybe I mean I don't. I don't know. I think they have to. But at the same time, she was pretty strict with her wording when she was like, I'm taking off the, June 26th to June 30th to hear the evidence and all that. So, yeah, I think that it's just crazy. Yeah, the gag order hearing. It was for like the gag order, and then so like it had to do with the media and stuff also wanting the gag order and the non-dissemination order to be like lifted. It's just, yeah. I think personally it's BS and they should have prepped and prepared for this. It's been a high profile case since before Bryan Kohberger was even a suspect. Like, I don't get it. It's kind of funny that she's putting this on this little Jay Logston guy too, because normally when you see him coming in with his attorney, it says Ann Taylor. Not very often do we see the Jay Logston. Yeah, Brian Paul, I think you're right. I think that she will probably give her. I think that she'll give a continuance, but I think she's going to be strict on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm giving you to this time. I mean, May 22nd, the trial is going to be here. Like, so if they're not ready, I mean, we'll see. I'll keep my eyes out, or my eye out, and I'll make sure I post it, to the community tab and then over to Twitter. That way everyone will get the information. But, yeah, they want to make sure they can get their expert witness and they can talk to them and, prep them, really. What happened, Isabel? What'd I miss? No, I didn't. The Parkland shooting was like, oh. Yeah, we may not, I don't know. I hope there's a trial soon. I mean, there's nothing holding it back like there was with Lori Vallow and, Letitia, and there's no COVID and stuff. So, like, to kind of like stop everything like it kind of did back then. So I'm hoping that it goes faster. I mean, but he did sign a paper saying that he signed for a speedy trial. So. Hey, Pam. Defense put in a complaint because she hugged victims' families. Oh my gosh. Okay, I couldn't be a judge. I would. So you're still confused. Okay, so basically, there was a hearing on. I have it up here on May 22nd. It was via Zoom. We were all looking forward to it because it was going to be. It was going to be to see if they're going to be able to lift the gag order or not. The Gonzalez family was going to show up, give their testimony, give their evidence on why they think that it should be, or their lawyer, lawyer thinks it should be lifted for him. And then the news media was going to be also there because they wanted to know if they were going to be able to talk freely with people about this investigation. And so basically, Bryan Kohberger is saying in order for him to put on a defense for the May 22nd hearing, he needs to bring in expert witnesses that say how the media is, like the media should, not have access to this case because we already have too much access as is, basically. The damaging effects that media has on it. I don't really know what media is covering it other than Law and Crime on YouTube, like Court TV here and there, and News Nation. I don't see ABC, NBC, CBS, PBS, TBS, all of them. You know, I mean, I'm just naming them out. You know, but I don't see all of them picking up this very much. Fox, like a few stories, but not a lot. So I don't know. I don't know what the big deal is. So I think that they should be able to find an expert witness. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that might be kind of hard to find one. Ooh, an Amber Alert. Where are you from, Nancy? Is everyone okay? Brian's girls. I wonder. Let me see. Did they ever let me back in there? No, I know they did it. Let's see. Nope, they hate me. They still hate me over there. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I still can't believe that you can buy luminol on Amazon. I would buy it. I'm scared though after I thought about it because you never know. Ooh, you should write Burger a letter. I should too. Oh, you got one too? Oh, really? The lawyer is talking about this right now? Yeah, they're not gonna. Yeah, Brian's girls are not gonna be able to see him anymore. So yeah, that was the only one that I saw that was new that come out. Let me refresh the page again just in case something popped up that I didn't see. No, because I would be crazy. Do you think that he's talking about like YouTube? Do you think that? I was wondering. I'm wondering because I mean, we are covering this. I mean, people are covering this hardcore, and people are covering this to the extreme. You have sidekicks out there. You got tarot card readers. You got grandmothers. You know what I mean? Old war vets talking about it. I mean, everybody's talking about it. Now, I have a question though for you guys before I play the Nancy video because you guys are probably out a little more than me, and there's more of you guys, so you know. Do you guys, when you're with your friends that aren't on YouTube, if you guys have any friends, because I don't have any friends that aren't on YouTube, if you guys have any outside friends, when you go and talk to them, do they know about this case? Like, do they know about the Idaho 4? Or do your friends, like, you have to tell them, like, what's going on? Like, did you hear about this? And they're just like, what? Like, no, we just know, like, they just know, like, the gist, but they don't know, like, stuff. Hey, Joe Lookin'. I'll give you a minute to answer. So you have to tell them? They don't know about it? I have 6 kids from 3 to 18. Wow. Run a company, no friends. See, I don't know. Like, I really don't talk to a lot of people. Like, it's really like insane how much I really retreat. But I don't mind it, you know. I don't mind talking to people at the same time and having friends. It's just I'm always cool either way. Ooh, Isabel, let's start that rumor that Brian has an OnlyFans. And that I'm the videographer. Summer said Jerry's dead and Maury's retired. Now you gotta go figure out who the baby daddy is yourself. Yeah, you do. But just think, I think you can get like a DNA test kit in the mail now. The couple folks you talk to have no idea, Margot. Yeah, he has no, Christy, you're so right. That's so funny. No doubt many know the details. You know, your 90-year-old mother said they talk about this at her beauty shop. That is, oh my gosh, Alicia, where's she go to the beauty shop at? I need to be hanging out there. That's my kind of people. Get my hair rolled. A little, what's that called? Shampoo and curl for the week, you know? Look at my elbow. It's like, looks so bad. I can see it in the camera. It's from me leaning on it. I'm getting to, I'm right in the chat. You guys are, I'm like off in the la la land tonight. I told you all I was a little sleepy, so we're going to get to Nancy now. But I just love reading you guys' chats. It makes me laugh. It makes my day better. My mom asked me, what does your friend say about all our topics? My mom was never into true crime. What did she like? She liked Dr. Phil, the doc. She liked Oprah. She didn't really watch TV, I guess, though. The news. My dad was into true crime, though. So, did I already go over? Yeah, I already went over, like, what Nancy was going to talk about. But if you guys should just leave your DNA on that like button real quick, that'd be great. We're going to get on to it finally. We're going to get to the Nancy Grace episode. She goes over the traffic stop that we've all seen the traffic stop by now, but she goes over the traffic stop and she goes over the evidence that was collected and the way it was processed from his home at Washington State University. And she just goes over, you know, his cleaning habits, things of that nature. So let's see. Where did I put her? There I did. I was like, where is she at? Thank you guys again for being here. I really do appreciate you guys so, so much. I'm going to try not to interrupt it too many times. And I'm just going to let Nancy talk and let her have her own opinion because the title of this is True Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. Kohberger, murder suspect, talks down to lady cop. And y'all, I don't know how I'm like half and half on the body cam footage when he got pulled over. At first, I was like, he's like a weird, I was like, he's acting weird. He's crazy. He's weird. I was like, but then I looked at it a couple more times and I'm like, well, I don't know. Cause like that is a really shitty thing to get pulled over for. And two, like he does apologize at the end for like questioning so much about the law. And he's like, I'm new here, you know, and then he like thanks her. So I don't know how I feel about it. So let's watch it all again. Maybe my mind will change again when I watch it. Because I feel like it's changed a couple times. You're like, button spraying my thumb. You will hear from my attorneys. That's funny. Yeah, blamed out of YouTube. He's the one that did it. And if you were in any lives yesterday and they shut down on you, sorry about that. I guess some lives shut down. Mine didn't, but I guess StreamYard was having problems.
Bombshell in the last hours. According to reports, police find what they believe is blood on multiple items inside Bryan Kohberger's Pullman apartment. Now, here's the kicker. The apartment looks like someone professionally cleaned it out, wiped it down clean before cops could get in there. But blood doesn't lie. This, as a secret storage locker emerges. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us here at Fox Nation and SiriusXM 111. Bryan Kohberger, the prime suspect in the murders of 4 beautiful Idaho University students. We are learning more and more about evidence police have amassed. Is it the students' blood in his apartment. Even when he cleaned that apartment meticulously, wiping it down, telltale blood drops remain behind. What do we learn? Again, thank you for being with us. First of all, take a listen to our cut.
On the night of December 30th,
Police department, search warrant, come to the door.
police searched Bryan Kohberger's apartment in Pullman, Washington. Only hours earlier, Kohberger had been arrested across the country in the Poconos. According to documents, police found 60 reddish-brown stains, 2 of which, on a pillow and a mattress, tested positive for blood. Even if the blood does not belong to the 4 college students killed in Idaho, it could be useful to the prosecution.
If it's the defendant's blood, was it a result of the victims struggling with him?
You are hearing Defense Attorney John Waldron speaking to our friends at WFMZ and more. Here's Crime Online.
50 items from Bryan Kohberger's apartment were tested by police. 2 of those items, a mattress cover and a pillow, tested positive for blood in the presumptive chemical tests. There was a dark red spot on the kitchen counter near the sink, which could not be tested but was collected according to documents. To whom the blood belongs is not yet known. Not all of the tested items were seized by police. The other 48 tested items, including stains on towels, swabs of bathroom sinks and the shower drain, a microwave and pizza cutter, tested negative. More than a dozen items were seized, however, including the 2 bedding items and the discoloration from the countertop.
Why couldn't some of the blood be tested? To whom does it belong? And this against the backdrop of police believing the apartment was wiped clean. Take a listen to our friends WFMZ.
Other than the stains, police found barely anything in the apartment. Even the trash cans were empty. Waldron says even the lack of evidence left behind could be incriminating.
It could be argued by a prosecutor that he fled Washington. In essence, he had a consciousness of guilt.
With me, an all-star panel to make sense of what we know right now. But first, I want to go out to Laura Ingalls, senior investigative correspondent for Fox News Channel, joining us. And you can hear her whenever you want to on a brand new hit series, Fox True Crime Minute. It's everywhere you get podcasts. Laura, thank you for being with us and congratulations on your new hit True Crime Minute. Tell me about the blood that we think it's blood found at Kohberger's Pullman apartment. Now, this is the apartment that's about 10 minutes away from where the students were murdered, many people believe, in their sleep.
Well, and you said it there too, Nancy. That's what we're waiting to find out, that these tests were run. We know that some of these items had blood. It's confirmed to be a blood-like substance, but we don't know whose blood. That is going to be so important and most likely going to hopefully be revealed at this preliminary hearing, if we can get there, in late June. But the number of tests that were run on the items found in his apartment, some did come back positive for blood stains. This is according to the court documents that were just released by Washington State University Police. They have not released who they belong to, though. The stain on the mattress cover, a stain on a pillow inside the apartment testing positive for blood. But those other items that we've been so curious about, the sink, the shower drain, a curtain rod, the entry to a door and stains under a coffee table and near a computer pad. They tested all of that, but they did not turn up any traces of blood. I think that there was hope that there was going to be some kind of DNA evidence, some kind of traceable evidence, but there was not.
To Cheryl McCollum joining me, forensics expert, Cold Case Investigative Research Institute founder and director. You can find her at coldcasecrimes.org. And she's the star of a new podcast, Zone 7, which is awesome. Cheryl McCollum, give me the bottom line on this.
They threw luminol over that place. They used a light source. They probably used, chemical testing. They were looking for the smallest amount of evidence you can think of. So when you look at this scene and they tested over 50 things, if 2 came back as human blood, then you're going to concentrate now on those 2. When we learn whose DNA those 2, small pieces of evidence belong to, I think that, again, is what is going to connect him to the original murder scene.
You know, as if there's not enough. But that said, you know, Cheryl McCollum, I love when a defendant does this massive cleanup. And I've always noticed how when people go missing or are murdered, suddenly the defendant turns into a neatnik. He's just got to run out to Walmart or Target or wherever and buy $300 or $400 worth of cleaning supplies, and they're always caught on camera. And then they come home and they just start spring cleaning, you know, in the middle of a snowstorm. Now, what is interesting here, well, so much is interesting as Laura Ingle lays it out, but the fact that the backdrop is the whole apartment looks like it's been wiped down.
Looks like it's been wiped down, and the shower curtain is missing. So again, if you're trying to take some bloody items out of the house, that would be a good way to do it, because something is not going to seep through the shower curtain.
You know, joining me, in addition to Laura Ingle and Cheryl McCollum, Toby Wolson is joining us, forensic consultant specializing in serology, DNA, and bloodstain patterns. You can find Toby at noslowforensic.com. Toby, thank you for being with us. You know, no matter how hard you try, you just really can't get rid of all the blood evidence. To the naked eye, you can't see it. Now, clearly, you've got a criminal procedure major living in the apartment. He knows how to wipe down surfaces. He knows all about squirting 409 and so forth. But unless you are using luminol, like Cheryl McCollum just suggested, you can't see it all.
That's correct. Luminol has an extreme sensitivity depending on which articles you read. It's 1 part per million is some of the highest sensitivities for it. The thing about cleanups is that, you know, you leave behind trace amounts, and luminol sensitivity will detect those trace amounts, but luminol is also hampered by its cross-reactivity with a lot of the agents that are in cleaning products. So what happens frequently when you're looking for a cleanup is, rather than seeing the blood, you see all the swirls and everything from them cleaning up, and the damage that's been done by mixing the blood with the cleaning products. But it is a very good search reagent if you're comfortable with it and have experience with using it.
You know, back to you, Cheryl McCollum, again, knowing that the apartment was wiped down seemingly by a pro. Can you just imagine Kohberger? You know, he's been studying criminal procedure, criminals themselves, criminal law. He's getting his PhD in the study of crime. Don't you know he tried to wipe down every surface he could?
Right. With that, some other mistakes could be made. For example, a missing shower curtain, that's going to be a red flag to anybody that would walk into that bathroom. If there's not a floor mat, if there's towels that look like they're missing, if he, you know, bought a set, if there's sheets missing, if there's a pillowcase missing, because one of the stains it said was on a pillow that didn't have a pillowcase on it. Well, I want to know where the pillowcase is. So again, he might have noticed the pillowcase had a stain, but he missed the pillow.
Mark Tate joining us, a high-profile lawyer out of the Savannah jurisdiction who shot to national fame during the, the Alex Murdaugh trial. You can find him at thetatelawgroup.com. Mark Tate, don't you just hate it when your client goes home to his parents' house for Thanksgiving, Christmas break, and he just has to take his own shower curtain with him?
Well, you know, it was always difficult for me.
It's not like Prince Charles that takes his own commode everywhere. Okay.
No, I understand. It is difficult, and I know it was always difficult for me personally when I had
I call
to.
it something else. I call it probative. You want to tell me one juror is going to identify with taking your own shower curtain home to mom and daddy?
There is no way. No, this guy is in really bad trouble, and, you know, he has a public defender. I think she's got to, obviously, she's got a duty, a fiduciary duty to her client to do the best she can. But this is really difficult. The things that are adding up that the prosecution has, this is just another arrow in the quiver that makes it so I think the real question is whether whether there's a death penalty case that is going to be brought, because I'm not seeing any light of day, and that's the thing I really like to do, Nancy. That is I like to find some kind of crack, some light of day through something that I can say, maybe we can talk about this and defend what's going on here.
Why are you talking about that? That's not what I asked you, Tate.
What are you
I
talking
asked you, why would anybody take the shower curtain when they go home for Thanksgiving break?
Oh, because they're guilty and they want to get rid of a friggin' shower curtain. And
exactly. Exactly.
That's
And, that leads me to, and I'm sure by the time I come back to you, you're going to come up with a theory. But I guess you're going to say, okay, I might as well put it out there. Oh, it had mold on. I had to get rid of it. There's no way to clean that. To Dr. Jeff Kalashevsky joining us, forensic psychologist, author of Dark Sides. Dr. Jeff Kalashevsky, you can clean your apartment all you want to. And Laura Engel, don't be shy, for Pete's sake. Jump in when you've got some tidbits of facts for me. Dr. Kalashevsky, you can clean your apartment all you want to, but in my mind, this guy is so anal. In fact, in a few moments, I'm going to play sound of Kohberger getting pulled over for edging into a crosswalk where people are crossing. And he actually has the cop. And tell me if I got this wrong, Laura Engel. Go look up the law. And you can hear him saying, well, from where I come from, this is not a crime. And I don't believe this is a crime. And actually asking the lady cop to go get the law to show him that that was a crime.
Listen, and this gives us another sliver of information about Bryan Kohberger himself, right? What he sounds like in this body cam footage, how he behaves while under pressure or dealing with somebody of authority. Now, we've been hearing from people who know him in the weeks and months after the quadruple murders. They described him as someone who was constantly always showing people that he thought he was smarter than them. He was somehow more intellectually
You hear that,
superior.
Tate?
Now,
You hear that, Tate? People don't like that. Okay, go ahead.
Like what? Shower curtain?
I know it all. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we heard that from everybody. Now, I went to Pennsylvania. I was outside of that jail where he was held. The moment that he was arrested, we raced to Pennsylvania. I was there for a good 5 days, and I can tell you from being it is a rural area, but I'm sorry, there are crosswalks, and there are street lights, and there are stoplights, and, we spent some time there. I hung out outside of his parents' gated community. While it is far back in the country, there are crosswalks, and there are normal things that you would associate. So anyway, his argument, as I was listening to him, I listened to it several times, as I'm sure you have too, talking to the officer, talking about the law, wanting to explain it. But the other side too, you can listen to that body cam footage of him getting pulled over. And while on one hand, it sounds like a guy who's, trying to be super smart and trying to talk about the law, and it also sounds like a guy who's trying to get out of a ticket.
Sounds like a world-class a-hole to me, but that's just me. Maybe you guys will interpret this differently. To Dr. Jeff Kalashevsky, I'm sure that's not a proper psychological diagnosis, a world-class a-hole, but I'm just really enjoying, for the moment, let me not for this moment think about the 4 students who were slaughtered, many people believe in their sleep. Because right now, I want to think about Kohberger and how he is so anal. Remember when he was finally arrested at his parents' house in the Poconos? He was wearing plastic gloves, rubber gloves, to take out the trash. Nothing could have made me happier except the fact that I believe he wiped down his entire apartment, took his shower curtain, got rid of it, but still left behind some blood.
Well, if I can comment, Nancy, I've talked to a lot of people over the years who've meticulously planned crimes and tried to approach planning and pulling off a crime from sort of an academic perspective. And one of the things that usually trips them up is, for example, if they're going to plan a murder, this is the first murder they've been involved with, first murder they've planned, first murder maybe they've done. But law enforcement has had lots of experience with murders. So a lot of times when I've seen people who've taken this real academic approach and studied police technique and investigative techniques, they will miss something because You can study this kind of stuff all you want, but experience is what's really important. So it doesn't surprise me that he would make mistakes along the way. Big mistakes, like taking the shower curtain. That's beyond just cleaning your apartment. Big mistakes like take the pillowcase off a pillow with blood, but the pillow stays there. So even with all your academic study and your academic approach to planning and trying to pull off a crime, it won't trump the experience of seasoned investigators who are on crime scenes all the time.
Dr. Jeff
Nancy, I have
Kalashevsky,
to
that
agree.
was incredible what you just said. Hey, Mark Tate, isn't it the truth? Let me jump off what Dr. Jeff Kalashevsky just said. I remember going through law school thinking, oh, can I try a case? Will I be awful? Can I pull it off? Blah, blah, blah. I had all my law Xeroxed and ready and every question written out, which I did till the bitter end, by the way. But when you get in there to try a case, it is like nothing they can tell you in moot court. I can tell you that much. Or trial advocacy.
You're exactly right.
It's hand-to-hand mutual combat. And at the end of every day, everybody clear out the courtroom. I would just sit there thinking, what in the H-E-double-L just happened? I'd look at the clock. I'm like, I've been here 7 a.m. and it's 7 p.m. and it's like a big blur.
Yeah, it's amazing. You get that weird time compression. And, you know, the kind of joke among lawyers in trial is there's 3 trials.
Susan, you came in here with a badass attitude. So I don't know why you're saying that this is my channel and this is what I do. There are people with a difference of an opinion in here, and everyone is allowed to have that. But when you come in here picking fights just to pick a fight, then you need to go get a hobby. And like, I mean, really, it is my channel, so yeah. Just like any creator's channel, it would be their way. But I mean, you know, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you really came in here with a really bad attitude, and I hope that you have a better evening. Maybe tomorrow will be a better day for you. I hear crocheting is really nice to do. I mean, the first thing that I saw that you said was, I can't stand Nancy Grace. Oh my God. Like, no one's keeping you here watching it. And then you just kept going on and on and on. Anytime someone commented, you would comment the opposite of them. So, and you haven't been in my chat before, so you don't know that I'll stop a whole live just to make it a point. Also, since I have you guys here, love you. One more thing. Bryan Kohberger does not have OCDs. Taking your trash out of the trash receptacle and putting it into Ziploc baggies is not an OCD. OCD would be a freaking recycling bin. You put your plastic here, you put your trash here, you put your bottles here, you put your cans here. You don't do it after it's already been mixed in with other people's filth. OCD people that are dealing with cleanliness of OCD don't do that. They just don't. I've had it in my life, my family. It's my grandmother, my great grandmother probably had it too. But it's everyone that knows me, y'all know how bad my family has it. So has OCD. So it's something I'm very passionate about. It's something that I know about very, very well, very, very well.
There's the case that you plan to try, the case that you think you tried, and the case that you actually tried. So, yeah, you're exactly right. All bets are off once you walk into that courtroom and you got 12 jurors and a potentially mercurial judge. You never know what's going to happen, but you're right.
And same thing with crime scenes, Cheryl McCollum. How many have we been on together? You know, you can prep all day long in your classroom, Cheryl McCollum, at the Cold Case Research Institute. But when you get out there, it's like, seriously, like all HELL breaks loose. It's nothing like you can prepare for.
you can't prepare because your classroom is not going to give you wind and rain and cold and heat and activity with animals and even families showing up. So you can practice all you want.
Yelling
You
and
can
screaming and contamination and
then there's
it's
the media.
crazy. I think I heard Laura Engel jumping in. Laura, what were you saying?
Well, I was just back to the shower curtain part. I just, as you think about the shower curtain being gone now, he had started school there. He had started attending that past fall. So he probably moved in around August or September. But I just keep going back to the fact that they ran tests on the sink and the shower drain and the curtain rod, and there were no signs of blood on those things. And yes, the shower curtain is missing. I was just making that note that he had just moved in. So I guess.
Right. Okay. So you're saying he moved in and hadn't bought a shower curtain, or that he just only took bubble baths and didn't need a shower curtain?
I don't know. I'm just saying I was just curious. I was just double checking our notes because I was thinking, well,
Laura Engel, you just gave the defense an awesome comeback. Okay, that he hadn't bought a shower curtain yet, or that he only took bubble baths. That was my fault, guys. We were. Hey, Toby Wilson, forensic.
I think I can address the
Jump
shower
in.
curtain issue and stuff. The shower
First
curtain,
of all, who is this?
This is Toby Wilson.
Great.
And
Go ahead, dear.
as somebody who's done forensic biology and lots of crime scene work and blood stain pattern analysis, the assumption is in a crime of this nature that the defendant got himself very bloody at the crime scene. That's not necessarily the case. We know from many cases that how bloody the defendant gets is a factor of if the assailant or if the victims fight back or not. It's also a factor of what's being used and the directions the blood is being thrown in. So it's not. I've had cases involving multiple stab wounds and all where the defendant has little or no blood on him. The focus here really on that shower curtain, I think, is not where you want to look. If he was bloody after leaving that crime scene, with which 4 victims he may have been, the more important thing to be looking at is the interior of the Hyundai, because just like in the OJ case where they examined the interior of the Bronco, even though it was excluded from evidence, they found the victim's blood in that car, and the reason being because you don't have a chance to clean up at the crime scene. You're anxious to get out of there and get away from it. So the interior of the Hyundai, I would think, is a more valuable thing to have examined than the apartment itself. The apartment, being that it's an apartment, meaning multiple people could have lived there, and if it had been furnished when he moved in, any blood you find could be totally irrelevant to the case. So I as a forensic biologist and a blood spatter expert would be more interested in what was in that car.
Toby Wilson, I could listen to you talk all day long. I started off disagreeing with you about how there are stabbings where there is no blood, because in this case, Laura and Cheryl jump in and help me out with the facts. It's my understanding it was an incredibly bloody crime scene, which tells me the killer would have had blood on him, but you are right. There can be stabbings, and the way that they go down, the defendant does not get very bloody. It's amazing, but I've seen it happen. I know that it can happen. So that would not be the alpha and the omega, the be-all and the end-all of this blood investigation, whether he himself was bloody. But based on this crime scene, isn't it true, Laura Engel and Cheryl McCollum, that we've been told it was really bloody?
We have certainly heard that. Look, the police didn't come out. They haven't really told us much, right? And they said it was a very traumatizing crime scene, obviously, that was observed. But they really haven't given us a lot of detail. Right, Cheryl?
Cheryl, what do you know?
That's right, but here's what I can tell y'all.
Oh, boy.
You might say, the defense might say, well, he didn't have time to get a shower curtain. He had just moved in. He had time to buy gloves, a shovel, some goggles, and a black mask. He freaking had time to get a shower curtain. He chose what he bought.
Also, he moved in August. Let's don't forget that. He moved in August, so he would have had August, September, October, and part of November. Unless, again, He let Calgon take him away in a bubble bath. He had a shower curtain. Guys, I've got so many other things to discuss, including the emergence of a secret storage locker. But I really want you to hear Bryan Kohberger talking back to a cop. Now, I, as a felony prosecutor for many, many years, would not talk back to a cop. Absolutely not. Even if I disagreed.
Now I'm going to stop her there because I said this in the beginning before anyone comes for me in the comments, maybe later or now. I don't know how I feel about the body cam footage of the traffic stop with Bryan Kohberger. Every time I watch it, I change my mind on it. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about the body cam footage after watching it maybe a second or third time with Nancy. I think she plays it on here. I watched the podcast version of this or listened to it earlier, so I'm hoping she plays the video version.
Forget it. No, you can fight the ticket in court, but not on the street. Reality, I got to hear Kohberger. Now, this is him. Look, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, and I take a lot of pride in that. We didn't even have a red light or stop sign, but I knew enough as a new driver not to pull into a crosswalk where people would be walking. But when he gets pulled over for that, I want you to hear how he talks to the lady cop. Let's go with our cut 405, Jack.
Yeah, I was just slightly into the crosswalk, so you know, yeah, where I'm from Pennsylvania, we actually don't have like crosswalks.
Oh,
so even if you're kind of slightly, there's a little bit more leeway as well. Like there are a few lines, like there's one white line and there's another one in front. Like there's like a certain margin from which you can actually kind of put your vehicle, place your vehicle.
Yeah. So I know laws vary state to state, but there is a law in Washington for blocking an intersection like that, proceeding through when you don't, when you're just stalling. I forget the actual verbiage. I can find it for you, but it's like stalling, blocking an intersection.
Yeah, I'm just curious about the law. I don't mean to.
Oh no, yeah, I can find it for you.
Okay, I love this woman.
Hold up a minute. Hold on a second. Okay. I'm going to say this just in case Rick still is listening. Rick, if you're still listening, Rick. Okay, Rick. Bless you. Bless you. Americans aren't hateful. Did you just not hear me when I said in the chat, I put it in the chat and you were right there, that I'm playing Nancy Grace, not just for people in America, because we can all watch it over here, but there's people in other countries that don't get Nancy Grace and they enjoy watching her. So I like to play it for them as well. That's not me. I mean, that's like being nice to me. I mean, that's being kind, nice, respectful, courteous, selfless, loving, not hateful.
Am I saying her name correctly, Laura Engel? Officer Isabel Luengas?
Sounds right.
So she's like, and then she offers to go get him.
That's
the
amazing.
law. I mean, Tate, Mark Tate. I love her. She's going, thinking, oh, what a jerk. He's actually trying to talk me out of this. Did you hear that?
Yes, his eyes looked crazy to me, and he was doing the thing that you now just said is no reason to speak to the police on the side of the street like that, but he did, and he tried to engage her in some sort of thing that almost sounded like a prank. Oh, I'm from a strange place. I don't know how to work crosswalks.
Yeah, there are no crosswalks in
break.
Pennsylvania.
Give me a break.
I lived in Philly. There are plenty of crosswalks in Pennsylvania. But guys, he actually lets he sends the lady cop to go get the law. Take a listen to 406.
I don't see Pennsylvania registration like at all. Okay, let's see. Expires November 22nd, or 2022. Okay. And
yeah, one of those is actually.
Yeah, okay, that looks good. I'll hand that back to you. I'm just going to go check your info. I'll try to find that RCW, the law for you, and I'll be right back.
Thank you.
All right.
I guess that's going to be the Code of Washington, the law. And listen, I can't believe she's still being so cheerful with this guy who's sending her off like she's his secretary to come back with the law. Fetch! Go get me the law. Okay, listen to this.
Okay, so I found it. So I don't know what in Pennsylvania where you go to find laws, but in Washington it's called the Revised Code of Washington. So I'll try to turn my brightness up, but it's just called an RCW, so it's RCW 46.61.202. So it's no driver shall enter an intersection unless there is significant space on the other side of the intersection to accommodate the vehicle he is operating without obstructing the passage of other vehicles, despite any traffic control signal indications to proceed. So you had a green light, so you're thinking you can go, but you're blocking the intersection. So
Okay, I think I need a shrink on this. Dr. Jeff Kalashevsky, forensic psychologist, author of Dark Sides, he actually is challenging the traffic. He's in the middle of the crosswalk. He's trying to tell her, I just nudged in a little bit. That's what I call an admission. Now he's challenging her on the law and trying to talk circles around the traffic officer who's having none of it, and actually goes and has to recite to him the RCW, the Revised Code of Washington.
Yeah, he thinks he's smarter than her and tries to outsmart her, but she outsmarted him when she's quoting the law, and that's when he gave up because he had to accept that he lost. She outsmarted him. She's
Cheryl
so professional and
McCollum,
so impressive.
Cheryl, I'm very surprised that the lady officer didn't use just enough force to effect an arrest. And you know what I mean? Throw him down and handcuff him for his back talk. But wait, listen to 409. One more time. 409.
I'm actually just from a very rural area, so we just don't have crosswalks.
Oh.
Unless I visit an area where there are crosswalks, and then it's not very frequent.
Yeah.
I do apologize if I was asking you too many questions about the law. I wasn't trying to
No, not at all. Like, I understand you're not from here, so if you don't, a lot of people don't know a bunch of laws. Like, I only know it because this is what I do. But yeah, if you're ever curious on any more laws, just RCW, and they can be hard to read because it's in like legal language. But hope that helps.
Definitely.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Definitely, you too.
Thanks.
Don't know the laws. He's getting his PhD in the study of criminal procedure and crime. Okay, help me out, Cheryl McCollum.
Well, as you well know, ignorance of law is no defense. Plus, what he's trying to do here, in my opinion, is play her. So he thinks I'm going to be able to, Jedi mind trick her and not giving me a ticket. Well, that failed. And what happened as soon as he failed, he started to apologize. So that's what I think we're going to see in court. He thinks he's smart, but now that he's stuck like a rat in a coffee can, you're going to see a different attitude.
Has anybody on this panel ever seen Leave It to Beaver? Anybody?
Yes.
Even in reruns, because
Yeah.
I'm sure you're all so young, you didn't see it the first time around. Do you remember Eddie Haskell, the sucker that was always going, oh, Mrs. Cleaver, I love your pearls, that kind of guy? This is so Eddie Haskell. That's what I have to say all the time to the twins. Don't suck up. It's not working, Eddie Haskell. This is Eddie Haskell sucking up once he realized this is over a ticket. What is he going to do when he gets in trial? I bet he's going to give his lawyer, who's making $200 an hour, by the way, I bet he is going to give her fits. Laura Engel, I want you to now that I've listened to Bryan Kohberger's voice longer than I ever wanted to, I want to talk about this secret storage unit. Guys, take a listen to our cut 397, our friends at KTVB.
We found a padlock, round in shape, in the living room closet. Based on my training experience, I recognize the padlock to be the shape of locks typically used on storage units.
You're hearing a phone call between Washington State University Assistant Police Chief Don Daniels and a district judge.
All right, please proceed.
I believe the storage unit or closet was likely used by Kohberger to store the items and likely access between the time of the murders and his travel to Pennsylvania, where he was later arrested.
Daniels believes the storage unit could contain DNA evidence, including blood, skin cells, footprints, fingerprints, or hair. Daniels is asking the judge for a search warrant to enter Kohberger's storage unit.
Okay, so Mark Tate joining us, high-profile lawyer out of Savannah with the Tate Law Group. Explain what is happening right there.
Well, it looks like that, they have found a reason. They've got probable cause to conduct another search. And, I think that obviously he hasn't surreptitiously enough hidden his evidence. And I think that what we see is a dogged prosecutor who's going to put a case up against him that doesn't leave any stones unturned. That's what I think is going on.
And guys, take a listen to our cut 398, again, KTVB.
If there's probable cause and the court hereby authorizes you to sign my name, Gary J. Livey, on a search warrant to enter the aforedescribed storage facility.
Because police conducted a presumptive test, these documents do not say definitively if the stains are blood. It just says that they could be. It's unclear if any of the items police reported that day came from the storage unit or if they were all from his apartment.
You know what it sounds like to me, Tate, that the judge or the magistrate is granting a search warrant over the phone or by Zoom, because he says, I authorize you to sign my name, Gary J. Libby. And that is not uncommon. Sometimes you need a search warrant in the middle of the night and you find whatever magistrate is on duty and you call them or go there. But you can call now, especially with Zoom and FaceTime, you can easily get a warrant.
Oh, sure. It's made
what?
It's made officers made it a lot easier for them to get warrants when they need them. And frankly, judges like being involved at an early stage so that there are few errors that keep evidence out later. And so I think that's, if COVID did anything, I think it made it so law enforcement can reach magistrates to get warrants. And I think that's at least one positive thing that we've seen is judges have become, more accessible to law enforcement. So these kinds of things, I think, head off evidentiary admission problems down the line.
And I'm glad they recorded it, because I don't want a defense attorney jumping up like you, Tate, there at the end going, oh, there wasn't a warrant. It was an emergency. There were no exigent circumstances. So therefore, you can't use anything you find in the search fruit of the poisonous tree. Bottom line, we learned police search a secret storage locker belonging to suspected quadruple killer Bryan Kohberger that they believe, cops believe, he accessed after the murders. So, Laura.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause it there. This is the same storage locker that they had at his apartment, right? That she's talking about? The one with the cobwebs and the dust on the floor? I doubt he ever used that storage facility at all, if it has cobwebs and dust on the floor like that. I'm assuming it's inside of a building. But then again, it could be on the outside of the building with just a door. But I wonder if it's inside of a building. Like, I'm turning my camera on. I wish I could explain mine to you guys. Maybe I should do a video on it, but I'm thinking like maybe I should figure out how to put it on my phone and take you guys out there real quick. Because what I'm thinking is the same thing that I have at my house. Like, so we have each building here has 8 units, and so there's 4 on the bottom, 4 on the top. And then on the bottom unit, there is, if you go to the back, on the back wall, so if you got my front door, on our back wall, there's a door and it looks like a closet door or something. But when you walk in, there's a hallway and then there's doors lined up. And each one of those doors is a storage unit for that apartment and has your number on it. And the key that for your main door works for your storage unit. So you don't have like an extra key for it. Same key that you put in the house. My storage unit, that thing has everything in there. But I use it, but we've lived in this place a long time and you can tell that we've lived here. I mean, there's, there's things, so. Oompa! Look who it is! It's Oompa! He said Summer. Everyone calls out Summer. Everyone loves Summer. Hi, Suzanne. Speaking of the devil. Oh, you're not innocent, Rich. Yeah, I think it would have been clean too. And plus, you would have seen things dragged around if he used it. I mean, like, who's going to leave a cobweb up there? Nope. Guys, more men, I feel like, are scared of cobwebs. No, sorry, guys. And like, or not cobwebs per se, but spiders than women are. So I would say that would be the first thing to come down would be the cobweb. And he probably would. I mean, dust it out, whatever. I don't, and I heard Denny say something about the room earlier, mentioned the room, the spare room being locked. That to me is weird. It is weird to me. I've never ever, I guess because it's student housing, but it's weird because there's families that live on the same property, but I've never heard of you renting an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment, but you only get 1 bedroom because there's only one of you. Like, normally you rent the whole thing. So to me, I think that's weird too. I think that's very weird. It would be very hard for me not to use that other room or to not pick that lock and look in there. But, you know, I'm not Bryan Kohberger. Maybe he's better than me, could, you know, but I would be so curious. Inside something, yeah. Whether, yeah, it was inside something. And I keep forgetting. I want to show you guys how I think he took off the glove. Like, I wish I had a damn glove. I need a glove. I think if it's, okay, so if this happens to be, and I don't know if it's an ID from the victim or if it's his ID or his mama, grandma, great-grandma's ID, or if it's even an ID, maybe that says something different. I don't know, but I think we all think it says ID. But if it was the victim's ID, let's just say, and he took it off of the desk and he had it in his hand. I'm trying to find something and he had it in his hand and he had gloves on, let's say, glove on his hand, and he put it in his hand. There's a way that they teach you to take gloves off when you're in school for criminal justice and like nursing. So they tell you to put your hands underneath of the glove and bend it like inside out. That way you're never touching, your exposed hand is never touching the outside of the glove. So I'm kind of thinking that's kind of how the card got inside the glove. Maybe he didn't like slip the card in the glove. Maybe he just took the glove off with the card in his hand. I don't know. The way that sounds, like the way I'm like picturing it, if he's the killer, if he's the one that did this, I'm picturing him taking an ID from one of the girls because they didn't have a purse that night and just putting it in his hand, keeping it in his hand, or maybe taking it from Ethan downstairs when he was leaving, or maybe off of the, in the kitchen, like off the counter when he was leaving. Who knows? Never met a spider bigger than my foot. No, yeah. My dad used to be so scared of them, spiders. She's Upa said yes, Isabel. I turned my computer off. Teacher's aid package. Oh. Hey, Cheryl. Oh. Colleges will do that. Ashley said, see, I've never known. I'll track another Idaho trial. Are you talking about Lori Vallow Daybell? I got a playlist on her ass too. She's crazier than a bag of, oh, she's just crazy. She didn't even have a defense. Oh, I did. Oh, I do. Okay, yes. Okay, I'll say it right now because the video is almost over. So after I was looking, I don't know how to take it now. I got really mad, and I'm glad I misbehaved. I'm glad I didn't say it when I first saw it, because then it might be one or two ways. So let me see. How do I do this? How do I share? about I just download it or copy? Oh, wait. Okay, it's going to be a picture. It's going to save it as a picture. And then I can send it to the thing to show you. Okay, so I was on Reddit earlier. I didn't send it. What the hell? Let me see. Oh, share via Tanya's MacBook. There we go. So, when you guys were, because you guys were actually talking about JLR, that's the thing too. When you guys were talking about JLR in the stream earlier, you were saying something about him, and I forget what we were talking about. But this popped up on my Reddit, and I was like, whoa. So it says, and I don't care what the Emma Bailey girl said or anything, but I just read this part, and I don't know if he's referring to her charges as of right now. Because she is, being charged with, I guess somebody OD'd off of drugs that she sold them. So Jonathan Lee Riches puts underneath of her comment, she just commented something, I don't know. But he says, you're going to prison for a long, long time. Did you deliver the DoorDash to the Moscow, Idaho home on November 13th? And the person who posted this said, a lot of you have probably seen this guy, Jonathan Riches, convicted fraudster who is going around accusing people of having involvement in the Idaho 4. But then, I don't know if that's what he's really talking about or if he's actually talking about the charge that she's there for. So I don't know. But I wanted to show you guys that because I was like, whoa. Because at first I was like, if this is not, then if he's not talking about the charges that she's already charged with, then this is like defamation. Like, the TikTok user is in hiding right now. She's outie because she got sued for $75,000 from Schofield. Or Schofield's the girl that is suing or whatever. She hasn't been on TikTok in forever. She's outie. I just don't know why people do this. I don't know. I don't know why people do it. Just, there's overstepping. There's overstepping, and there's overstepping. Gabby Petito. I mean, I'm not even going to get into that. I don't mind them. Just don't send them my way if I ever get killed. You never saw me, y'all. You never saw me. We've already had this conversation, y'all know. If something ever happens to me, this page gets shut down, and I don't want you ever to talk about me. It's like I'm a fake person. Because I do not need no JLR all up on my lawn talking to Vincent. Oh man, we might have to actually just prank him, fake my own death just so we can get Jonathan Lee Riches here to bother Vincent. Because that would be a show. That would be a show. Oh wait, hold on, I missed Noompa. What did he say? The paper trail on BK is wild. Brian Laundrie's mom does need to go down. There are a couple people's moms that need to go down. Well, Aiden Fuki's mom, she's been going to court. And I'll tell you another update. Well, it's not an update, but I'll tell you at the end of this video.
Engel joining me, senior correspondent, Fox News Channel, and star of Fox True Crime Minute podcast. Laura, what do we know?
Well, you're right. And that was a phone call. It was recorded on December 30th. And that voice you hear, as you identified, Assistant Chief Don Daniels of the WSU Pullman Police Department. So they noticed that there is this round lock. Now, I don't know how many people here on our panel and listening who have had an apartment. I've had many. And when you get an apartment, if it's a small one like this, you usually will get, I've always had a little tiny closet, some kind of a little storage unit where you could put, your chairs or whatever. It's usually pretty small. The one thing that's interesting about what Daniels wrote in her report about what she found or didn't find in the storage closet. Now, did he store things in there? Did he remove them before he took off and went home for the holidays? She did write in her report there were cobwebs going into the storage closet and the floor was dusty. And she wrote, "It did not appear the closet had been used recently, and nothing was seized or collected from the closet because there was nothing in it." Now, if he had something in there, I'm just noting what's in the report. We just don't.
Maybe that's where he hid his shower curtain, Laura.
It could be where the shower curtain was. That's right.
Hey, Nancy, it literally could be that he put the shower curtain down and we pulled up. That's where he went in and he had clothes that he changed into and put everything else on the shower curtain and discarded it. That could absolutely be
like
the case.
a hobo. You know how you've seen the pictures of them putting everything in a big piece of material, putting it on their back, gathering everything he wanted to get rid of in the shower curtain and getting rid of it all. We also are getting somewhat of an idea where the defense is heading in this case. Take a listen to our cut 410 from our friends at crimeonline.com.
Bryan Kohberger's public defender claims evidence that could prove Kohberger's innocence has not been turned over to the defense. Ann Taylor has filed a motion to compel discovery. Among the evidence requested, footage from Kohberger's arrest, notes from his interrogations, and details about how police tested DNA found at the scene of the University of Idaho murders. The defense team is asking the judge to compel prosecutors to comply. Many of these items were included in the first request for discovery filed back in February. A second request was filed on March 24th. There is a total of 7 items requested. Again, the body and dash cam footage from Kohberger's arrest, copies of lab reports detailing the forensic evidence collection and analysis of items recovered at Kohberger's home as well as his parents' home, trash cans and other receptacles, Kohberger's Hyundai Elantra, all lab testing, all recordings and notes from Kohberger's interrogation, and training records for multiple officers. Their names have been redacted from the filing. A redacted event is listed, requesting all reports, notes, recordings, and photos from that event. Attorneys say this contains exculpatory evidence. The judge has yet to respond to the motion. The defense team is requesting a 10-minute hearing on the issue before the late June preliminary hearing.
Okay, that sounds overwhelming, but this is what they did. There are forms that you pull up online, and they're discovery forms, and they list everything but the kitchen sink, well, plus the kitchen sink, that could possibly be requested on any discovery motion by the defense. So that's what you've got right here. And then they threw in some specific things. Lauren Engel joining us from Fox News. The reality is the defense is claiming the state is hiding evidence. That's what they're claiming.
Well, they want to get their hands on everything. And the other part of this, when we're talking about that search of the storage locker and of the apartment of Bryan Kohberger's office at WSU, where he had just completed his first semester, they found that everything was empty. And did you also read about this letter that had happened in September? He was kind of in trouble leading up to everything that occurred in October, November. In September, there's a letter here that said that this is a letter directed to Bryan Kohberger, that he had an altercation with the faculty, with a professor, John Snyder, and saying that they had some kind of back and forth, that he had failed to meet his expectations as a TA. And as a result, on November 2nd, the graduate director met with him to discuss an improvement plan of his behavior and performance. And then there were further conflicts with Kohberger. I'm just bringing that up just as
there were a lot of conflicts. Cheryl McCollum, many of the conflicts Kohberger had as a TA teaching assistant, which was his duties as he was getting his PhD at WSU, Washington State University, were centered around women. He would grade them more harshly, talk down to them. These are their allegations. I'm not guessing or hypothesizing. This is what they say, that they were singled out and criticized, over-criticized compared to their male counterparts.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Even in his social circle, they say that he would have, these bursts of anger, and he would sometimes be extremely rude. That should, shock no one on this panel, much less your audience. He is, I think, so just, you can pinpoint exactly what his behaviors were like, exactly what his thought processes were. He was not good at hiding anything, not his attitude and not murder.
And don't you know he was ill when that lady traffic officer pulled him over and then almost immediately produced the relevant law? She pulled it up
Well, let
for
me
him
just say
on her
this.
cell phone. What?
Let me say this to you, my friend. I read where the corrections officers say he doesn't do anything but watch TV and watches every single thing about him. I know he can't stand you because, again, you're smart, you're capable, and you are calling his number out every day.
Every day. Hey, Toby Wilson joining me, forensic consultant at noslowforensic.com. Toby, can you ever really and truly clean a bloody crime scene?
My experience over the years has been no. I've been called into a lot of situations to search for blood after they suspect or can demonstrate that there was a cleanup. And there's always stuff missed. It's either under carpeting or it seeps through the cracks in the tile or it's under refrigerators. Cleaning up a crime scene and getting rid of blood, even for professional services, they miss stuff. There's always something left behind.
And FYI, everybody, Windex don't cut it when it comes to cleaning a crime scene. You know, Toby Wilson, I only pray that you are correct. We wait as justice unfolds. Goodbye, friend.
Okay. I've been in this chat the whole time. I wasn't even listening to Nancy. That's my second time watching her. But I already know what she said. She said I didn't agree with a lot of her stuff on her podcast today or her video. I say podcast because I listened to the podcast version. Is it Mimi and Pappy or is it PP? Pop PP PP Pie Pie? I know I'm okay, we're both over here. I think we're both going, what is that one? I'm not good at pronunciations. What's my brother? My brother's Poppy Pop. He's Italian. They call my sister-in-law's, I don't know what they call her. I know she don't want to be called grandma, but that's probably exactly what they call her. Oompa Loompa, you don't love us? You're cool though. You did give me a good laugh last time. I do ask about you. And you're not here. I'm like, where's Oompa? You can even go back on the lives and check. Kohberger's sitting around watching Nancy Grace in his cell. I don't think he has Fox Nation there. But if he did, he'd be probably watching her. Yeah, I don't know if they would give you the big round lock at his apartment complex. Oh, and that's another thing I wanted to they said in the video, and I want to stress this again, because I've heard people coming out saying this, and what was I going to say? I forget now, guys. Oh, it was something. I don't know. I have to think about it. Frick, I hate when I forget what I'm going to say. Oh, okay. About the search warrant. If you listen to the Dawn, I believe her name is, the officer that is performing the search warrant on Bryan Kohberger's apartment at WSU, she does make a phone call to the judge. So when they go to Bryan Kohberger's apartment, in their hand, they have a search warrant for unit 201G or whatever it is, G201, whatever. They have that search warrant to search the inside of that property, the inside of his apartment. So when they got there, they didn't realize that along with the apartment, there's a storage unit, but the storage unit is detached to the apartment. So it's not attached to the apartment. and it's not included in it's not inside the apartment, so it's not included and inside the search warrant. So I've heard a lot of people giving the officers a hard time and saying, you know, that they've never heard about this, which I'm gonna tell you in a minute, and it's heard of and it's true and it does happen. So she's on the phone with the judge, and the judge allows her to sign his name and gives her the okay to add on the 6x6 storage unit or whatever it is onto the search warrant. That way the officer doesn't have to get in her car, drive all the way to his house because it was dark time at that point, and do all of that, you know. Oh, thank you guys for the super sticker. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Oompa. Thank you. Look at you guys. Oh, thank you. You're awesome. Make me feel loved. Both of you. Thank you guys so much. But it's not uncommon. You heard Nancy, she's a prosecutor. She said it too. Because I was going to look it up actually before I started watching Nancy Grace today. And I was looking into it, and it does say that it's like a new tool that they can use and stuff like that. So they're able to do that. So if someone says that looks a little strange that she's writing his name, and I can't believe a judge let her sign off on a search warrant, it was for a storage facility that was literally empty. The only thing in it was spiders. So it's going to be okay. That doesn't mean that Bryan Kohberger's innocent. Like, you know. Every friend I visited in prison had TV in the corner ceiling with surveillance camera in the other corner watching the prisoners. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the pods will just get their own. I don't remember. Sure, there's cameras. Yeah, of course. But I do know that they let you have your own TV. That's not like it's not like a huge thing that he has his own TV. Summer. Summer, now I'm on restriction. Oh, we are not restricted over on our chat. Yeah, TVs and cells. Yeah, and a lot of times too, for this, the prisoners can't even buy a TV. They could buy those ones that are like clear. You can see in them. I'm sure they even have cooler ones now. This is back in the day. And I mean, I will say the whole cop situation with Bryan, I don't know either way. I really don't. I can't be somebody to judge his behavior and the way he acts towards an officer, because once upon a time, your girl Tanya, she wasn't as friendly as she is now. So let's just say that. I'll tell you the story actually. I got drunk one night when I was younger, and I was with a friend, and we got pulled over, and I don't remember like a lot of it, but we went to collect her car the next day. And because she had her car towed, and I got a ride home because like I wasn't driving. I was, you know, I was fine. So we went to go pick up her car the next day that I got towed, and the tow truck guy comes out of this like little white shack looking thing. And I remember this, like I'll remember this to the day that I die. I don't remember the night before when it happened, but I remember him telling me. And I was probably a good 100 pounds soaking wet at the time, 5'8". Like I was a skinny little small thing. And we live in a small town, so every time you're on the road, you get pulled over by an officer. They just do it just to mess with you. So apparently, your girl Tanya, and don't be mad at me for this now, because this was like 20 years ago. But apparently, I kicked the police officer's car. Like I kicked it. I was like, "You can take this and shove it." So to the point where the tow truck guy didn't even charge us. He didn't even charge her, like my friend. It wasn't me, but he didn't charge her. He's like, "Don't even worry about it." He was like, "Your friend was entertainment," and I was like, "What did I do?" So, I mean, now I respect, but that evening I didn't apparently. So I can't, like, you know, I was bad. But where I lived, it was like a small, there was like 20,000 people that lived there, but there was only a couple main roads. So if you were ever out like after 2 a.m., even if you were a DD or not a DD, or you had one beer and you're just cruising home, you were getting pulled over. Like they sit at the bars in the alleyways, and it's like, this is entrapment. Like this, how is this legal? But it is, you know. I don't know. But now I mean, now I don't even drink, so. But I was a bad girl. I was real bad. I was bad. But now I'm been good for so long. No, I just, you know, in your early 20s, you do things. You do. And you know, I'm always here to be truthful with you. Oh, DD Hicks, that's so sweet. I love Nancy and Tanya. Well, stick around because we're going to have her back here, hopefully, one of these days. One of these days, I'm going to come up on the live and it's just going to be Nancy sitting here. I know, I'm so bad. I'll probably be getting people in the comments going, oh my God, I can't believe she did that. I can't believe I did that because I'm one of those people. I don't start shit. I really don't. I mean, unless it needs to be, I got started. But I'm usually just like, I'm usually the other way. Like, I usually just like try to, you know, get out of it. But exactly, Ashley. She said, Tanya, where I work in the town of Irving, everyone knows if you're out past 10, you're getting pulled over just for them to ask what you're doing. And that's exactly what it was like in my town. To the point, okay, well then later on in my life, well, not later on actually, same year, couple years, within the same like couple years, an officer that lived beside me was one of the officers that told me that my dad had passed away, car accident. Same officer tries to pull me over, like a few months later, couldn't get me for nothing because there was nothing to get. And then a couple weeks after that, I saw him out at a bar and he passed me a note asking me if I would send him provocative photos. And I kept that letter. I said, oh, this one's I said, and I put it in my purse and I smiled at him big and I said, that one is one you want to keep a hold of. Like, try to pull me over again. Never got pulled over after that. I am in timeout per Oma. Aw, Oma, we like you over here. Does she have a YouTube? Good evening, Caroline. Hi, Laughing Stock. I saw you come in too, laughing. Man, your doggy, that doggy just makes me laugh every time I see it. Makes you laugh. What's it all? Oompas already cost him more money. He's went to put him in the swear jar. Have to get a little swear jar or something. Grounded, Tanya. Yeah, I'm grounded. I actually got grounded once for, speaking of cars. I stole my mom's car when I was 15. We stole it. I mean, we stole it because I can't say we took it for a joyride because, I mean, that's stealing. We took it. We only went around the block a couple times. We didn't think we would get caught. And we went to pull in, and my mom and dad were in their driveway in front of us. So we put in behind them, and we got caught. But I got out of the grounding. I was grounded. That time was supposed to be for a weekend. I got out of it they told me if I cleaned my room, I was ungrounded. Don't gotta tell me twice. Oh, Mindy. She said, tell Vincent, thank you for sharing you with us. He probably saved. Have her for a little bit. I don't even know where he's at, actually. Let me see. Let's see where he's at. Let's see if he's around. He might be he might even be listening. If you're listening, Vincent, we love you. We love you around here. I don't think he understands how much I do sometimes. Bad girl, but I stole my mom's rented convertible. Busted getting out of the driver's seat. That was me. My mom opened the garage door, she said, and she looked at my dad and she said, Kenny, where's my car? And my dad said, behind you. We tried to say that we took it around the block because our friend Stephanie, and she's like this big Christian girl, so we thought we could just like say it was Stephanie, and they would just believe us. We weren't smart. We said that Stephanie was having a car wash and we just wanted to take her car to get washed. Not realizing they could get in the vehicle, go around the corner, see if there's a car wash going on. You know. No smoking that wacky tobacco. I did that as a kid. And Visine was not my friend. I never could do Visine. I couldn't put eye drops in my eyes. So it was one of those run to your bedroom kind of moments. My dad knew. They always know. They always know. She was pissed grounded a year and I flew straight. Man. No, it was just something to do. Where do you live, Euphoric? Do you live in California? Don't you live out there, somewhere out west? Oh. We would get in huge trouble today if we hung out. No, oh my gosh, as teenagers we would. Because we're a lot alike. We are a lots alike. It would have been fun. That would have been fun. Me and my best friend were opposite though. We were opposite. Like she's shorter, blonde hair, bluish green eyes, beautiful girl, beautiful girl. But like very opposite of me personality wise. Like she'd walk into a party and oh Jesus God, she'd go straight up to somebody and just start judging them. And I'm like, I would be behind her like mortified. Like, Ashley, oh my God, I can't believe you just said that to her. And then here's me going behind her going, she doesn't mean that. She loves your outfit. She thinks you're beautiful. It was just her personality. That was her, but we're still friends. Just don't talk as much. I'm in Ohio, yeah. We need to have an Ohio, like, meetup. Go to each state. Who's from California in here? Anybody from California? Anybody from the LA area? I do go to LA once a year. Nobody in the LA area? Dang. I wonder how many people are going to show up in Idaho for this trial. Because I don't know if I can pull it up. Let's see if I can pull this up really quick. Well, I spelled that wrong, but that's okay. Oopsie, go back. Trying to see this. I'm trying to find the this video. Okay. See if I find a good spot. Well, there's really not a good spot, but we'll pause it here. Okay, so how many people do you think are going to show up to Idaho? Because I've heard that and I don't know if this is true or false, and I can make a few phone calls and find out. But I heard that all the rooms are booked. I mean, content creators are talking about getting a tent and camping. I don't know where they're going to put their kid the whole time they're going to be doing that, but. Oh, good night, Jan. but it's like, this is all the room they have. Let me see if I get that stuff to come off of there, because like you can't really see. I want to get the. Well, it's not going to let me take that down. But this courtroom is extremely small. After you get press in there, because you already know Bryan Enton, right? You know Bryan Enton's going to have front row seat. He's crazy. Like, he will be there. After Court TV, Law and Crime, News Nation, the Idaho news outlets. How many content creators do you guys think are going to actually be able to get a seat in that jury or in that courtroom? Because remember, we got to fit 12 jurors plus 6 alternates, probably 4 to 6 alternates in there too. Good night, Pamela. Oompa Loompa, I think you're right. They're going to need one, but any prom stores? I do. Why'd you have to say prom? Because I forgot about prom. Oh, Lordy. It's not that bad, but it's pretty bad. We drank prom night, and my dress was 12 layers. 12 layers. It took like 4 dudes to pick me up to do I did a cake stand in my 12-layer dress. So when you said prom, that's exactly what clicked into my head. That's what the story that came to my mind. Oh gosh. And then one time for homecoming, my dress had the sensor still on it from the store. That was embarrassing. I had to go back to the store and jump on the counter pretty much and get it taken off. Oh my gosh, you left your prom date at prom? I got one better. I forgot. It was snowball dance. And I punched my date in the face and knocked him out. I was dating this guy, and he was cute, really cute, and he was older, and he was really popular, and he was from a different school, and he thought his shit didn't stink, and well, I thought it did apparently, because we broke up 2 days before the dance. But it was 2 days before a dance. We were going to still go together. We get to the dance, and I wanted to go home. I just wasn't having a good time, and I was young, like young. I knew a lot of people from this school. And I'm known still to this day, probably to this day from the school. I know the older generation still remember me. But his name was Ryan Newman. I'll put it out there. He's married now with kids. But I said, I want to go home, Ryan. I'm not having a good time. Like, he wasn't paying attention to me. He wasn't dancing with me. It wasn't fun, you know? And he was like, well, your number's blah, 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 blah. He read off my parents' like landline number, because we didn't have cell phones back then. I didn't have a cell phone. That's how long ago this was. And he was like, call your mom. And he said it in front of like all his buddies. So when he said that, it was like someone gut punched me. And I was just like, I remember putting my foot back like, and just swinging like with everything I had. He was 6'4". I knocked him to the ground. Like, he was on the ground for a while. Like, he was out. His friends were like stunned that a girl my size did that to him. Because like, and that anybody would do that to him, because he was so popular and so cool. And then after that, he drove me home, and then he tried to give me a goodnight kiss. But I got punched again. You know? Ooh, your opening of your dress broke? Oh gosh. I ran over a girl in the high school parking lot. I almost got ran over my senior year by a BMW in the high school parking lot. I'm like, welcome to senior year. Hands on the car. I was like, this ain't the same school I went to. Oh, Oompa said I can say my prom date was disappointed I didn't make a move. Oh. She wanted some of that Oompa. You were 9 months pregnant for your senior prom? Aw. So you didn't have, you never went to a prom? We gotta have a prom for you, girl. Wouldn't that be fun? I would do like a Zoom prom. I don't even know. I would make it work. Oh, you delete. I don't know how to undelete it. Oh wait, view deleted messages. Maybe I can. I think I showed it. It says the alcohol I had stashed under my tit fell out and went across the floor, and my tits showed themselves to the world. Ashley's like, here I am, everybody. You were pregnant too, Joe, looking at us? My sister-in-law was pregnant. Man, you guys are probably some badass moms. Like, really. I know being pregnant at that time probably, like, sucked. But now, I think, you know what I mean? Like, being that close in age, I feel like you'd have such a bond with your child. Me and my mom were so far apart in age, so. I mean, but we had such a great bond. I just feel like it. I don't know. I see my best friend, her daughter is 15 and she's 38 and I'm 37 and I don't have any children. And I'm like, is this best? Are we sailing out of this? Are we sailing this ship out of here? But you know, there's nothing wrong with that. The thing is, when I was 15, I told my mom, 15 or 16, I told her that I was going to adopt a baby, an Asian baby someday. I didn't know an Asian person, not one. But my boyfriend is Asian. Very strange. So maybe you never know. Maybe I'll adopt an Asian baby. Or maybe I'll have an Asian baby. You never know. But if I do get pregnant, y'all, and I'm grouchy, let's just say it now. I'm going to be grouchy as hell. I'll be probably hot, bothered. I'll be needing Teresa to come, Summer to come one weekend, Isabel to come. I had my driver's ed teacher on driving course. He told me he was all right, though. That's so funny. Oh, Vincent's home. That's my cue. Oh, wait, no. He's not home. Wait. He is home, but the neighbor got home the same time. That is so weird. Because the doorbell thing told me. She thought I was gay, Oompa said. Nothing wrong with that, but 50 years later we connected and laughed. Aw, that's a good story. Wow. He's my boo thing. Well, I'm going to get off here and go see him. I know, having a child is amazing. I know. I know it would be. But it's just so much. It's just a lot. You know, like on my body, metal wise, and I don't know. We'll see. But I bet. You heard the pause? Yeah. I heard the pause. That's why I was like, he has to be home. But it said the neighbor was home. Is she leaving again? Where's she going? We have a new neighbor. I have a friend that has a Down syndrome little boy. And Kia, you listening right now? Kason. He is a butthead. No, it's so funny. We have a friend, he has a little boy that has Down syndrome. And nobody has ever, like, he'll give you, like, the meanest looks. Like, you know, just, like, real mean. And no one's given it back to him before. And I'm one of those people, you can give it to me, I won't give it back. So I give it back to him. First time I did it, ever since then, like, he loves me. He's like the biggest little crush on me. He thinks I'm cute because I made him laugh. So I love you guys. I'm going to jump off of here. I know, me too. I'm scared too. But thank you guys so much for the super chats. Thank you so much for joining us again, Oompa, in the chat. We haven't seen you in a while. And when I say we've been asking about you. So I love you guys all so very much. Thank you guys for the super chats, the memberships, everything, and just being here. Don't forget to like the video on your way out. Don't forget to make sure you're subscribed and the bell icon's alerted because we're going to have a big live tomorrow night and on Saturday. So I will see you guys all then. Bye, guys.